Today I thought I'd go over one of my AR-15 setups and how I've got it set up and why I have it set up this way. I have a lot of different firearms, obviously, and I set them all up differently. If I know some people have 20 rifles and they're all set up kind of the same, right? And that's okay. You should be able to have as many rifles and guns as you want. That's not a problem there. For me personally, I set most of them up for specific purposes. The purpose of this gun, this is a close range weapon inside, 50-ish yards and inside, right? It is a Daniel Defense DDm4 V7 lightweight, and it has a 16-inch barrel, and 16 inches because the birdcage is pinned and welded, so it can't come off. So this is not an NFA item. It has a cold hammer forged barrel, 1-7 twist, so it stabilizes the heavier rounds. So the 77 grain Black Hills, it'll stabilize those. I have it sighted in for the M855, so the 62 grain green tips. I have that sighted in for those. It also shoots relatively well. If anything, shoots these relatively well. The 55 grain M193s. So, but it is sighted in for the 62 grain green tips. I'm going to start from the front to the back of how this is set up. So it's got a standard A2 and then birdcage, and then I have a Streamlight light on the front with all kind of side mounted, right? With a pressure plate and momentary on, right, with a click, and then one press here and it stays on. I have a piece of rail on the front, M-LOK rail. The V7 designation from Daniel Defense means that it's a M-LOK rail. It does have this vertical grip on it, but I don't hold it like this. I hold it like more like a V. So I have ability to pull back and control my barrel more, and also get my thumb up for my flashlight. For the, I guess I should show that it's empty. So it's empty, nothing in the magazine. Standard charging handle. I haven't changed any of the internals on this rifle at all. So it's as it came from the factory internally. For a optic, I've got a Trijicon MRO Patrol on there, and the Patrol is this one is a 2MOA red dot, and it has at the front, it has a screen to stop a flash signature, like if shine, right? It's got a screen that stops that, which I think is kind of neat. It's really unnecessary for my purposes. I'm not hiding in the woods with it, but I can see why it's there. And then it's got 6 different brightness settings and 3 night vision settings. The brightness settings for the dot, in between each setting, there's an off, which is nice because you don't have to rotate it all the way back around to turn it off. It's just one click either direction, up or down, turns off the dot. 50,000 hour battery life. The Streamlight flashlight, by the way, takes a 18650 or 2 of the CR123s, right? And then the mount that I have this on a quick release mount that is full co-witness. So just like with handguns, I think that you should be able to co-witness with your optics for any kind of a weapon that you might need to use for protecting your family, right? So right now this is serving as a house protection rifle. That's what it's serving as now. At one point in time it was my truck gun. I'll tell you about that in a second. But I have backup irons, full co-witness, like I said, quick release mount, standard Daniel Defense furniture, which is really comfortable. There's not a whole lot of wiggle there. There's really no wiggle in the, well, there's some, but there's not a whole lot of play in between the upper and the lower, which is good. I has a quick detach mounts in the handle, or in the grip. It has at the back of the grip in the stock, and it has one on this side right here. I have a 2-position sling for this. When I take it out plinking, it has a 2-position sling that I use. So that's about it. Oh, Daniel Defense comes with standard 32 round magazines. I have a large boxes of these. Daniel Defense sells these in 12 magazine boxes. I have a few of those. You never know when magazines might go bad, right? Get dirty, go bad. Has a nice piece of rubber on the bottom here, so that not only can you balance the magazine on it, right, but also if it hits the dirt, doesn't shatter, right? The plastic magazine. And what else? What else on this rifle? Okay, so standard 2-position safety. It is just semi-automatic, so only 2-position safety. Ambidextrous on both sides. Only one side for the magazine release is on this side right here at my finger, and then only one side for the magazine release, which is right there. So all in the right places. I won't take this apart to show you the bolt carrier group, but I'll do a cleaning video eventually where I take it apart so that I'm not violating any of YouTube's rules. But I do think that extra bolt carrier groups are something that you should have, and I have a stock stack of these. These are just the regular Daniel Defense bolt carrier groups that came in this rifle. I bought, just regular replacement parts. It does have the fully automatic profile, which I like. Probably a little tougher, right? So you can see it's a fully automatic profile on the front. Again, this is just a semi-automatic rifle. The trigger is nothing to write home about. In this one, just a mil-spec trigger. I have a 3-gun Daniel Defense where I have a Geisley 3-gun trigger and a flat-face trigger. I'll show that one eventually. That's a really nice trigger. But this is just standard 5-ish or more pound pull. But it is crisp, and I think it actually gets better. The more I shoot this rifle, I think this trigger actually gets better. So that is this rifle. I did have this as a truck gun for a little while because I had an incident where I had a few nice gentlemen try to relieve me of my vehicle, and I managed to get out of it with a handgun. And there were no shots fired from either side. Thankfully, no one was hurt. And I think the only reason that I got out of it is I was overly aggressive and explained to them that if they didn't let me go home with my truck, none of us were going home. Thinking about it later, I wasn't actually a match for that situation, and I got really lucky. So I started carrying a truck gun. This was the first one I started carrying because this is what I had that was kind of short like this. And now in there I have an item that's an NFA item that, I made my $200 donation to the government, right? So I do think that AR-15s and rifles in general are our rights as Americans, as United States citizens to have. I think that they're essential. I think everyone should have one. If you want to have 20 AR-15s set up exactly the same way and you just like collecting AR-15s, that's fine. Again, I set mine up for specific purposes. And I have some duplicates, but not very many. And yeah, that's about all I can think of on this rifle. If anyone has any questions about, and there are plenty of good brands of AR-15s. I have a lot of Daniel Defenses because those are the ones that I like because they're made in Georgia. I live in Northeast Florida, so I'm trying to support local companies, and I think these are really nice rifles. But there's a lot of good AR-15 manufacturers out there. So go out and pick yourself up an AR-15, learn how to use it, and practice your Second Amendment. It is your right as a United States citizen. If you have any questions about the way I have this set up, or want to share how you have your AR-15 set up, I'd appreciate to see that in the comments. So like and subscribe to my channel, and as soon as turkey season is over, I'm going to start doing more range videos on our private range. But right now I'm spending pretty much all of my time working and trying to kill turkeys. So eventually you'll start to see some more range videos, and you'll probably see a range video from this rifle because I really do like shooting this rifle. It moves really well. It's very handy. This is a very handy rifle, super light. So like to subscribe to my channel again, and have a good day. Thanks.